I know for a while that I'm not going to stick to this 5-year plan, but sometimes having one anyway just makes me feel good about myself. It makes me feel like my dreams are achievable, it makes me feel like I can work towards my goals. It just gives me that bit of clarity that I need to then start taking action that day. So if you watched the last video, you'll have seen me creating my 5-year vision so that I know what I want my life to look like by the time that I'm 40. As I had this moment where I realised that in 5 years' time I'm turning 40, and if my life looks exactly as it does now, I will be very disappointed with myself, even though I love my life right now. So if you haven't seen part 1 and part 2, go back and watch those and then come back to this one now. So last time we talked about my vision, we talked about everything that I wanted to achieve, we talked about my delusional goals, and then we used ChatGPT to write my future story that definitely made me feel a little bit emotional about where my life could be as I turn 40. This time we're going to use ChatGPT to turn that vision into an actionable 5-year plan so that I know what I need to be doing for the next 5 years to actually make that future story the life that I'm living. So let's go over to ChatGPT where my future story is written, and we're just going to respond to that future story asking ChatGPT to turn that into an actionable plan. But there are some key things that I need ChatGPT to know, like the fact that I have ADHD. So my plan needs to be manageable. It needs to be something that I don't find completely overwhelming, something that's easy for me to stick to, but can also be flexible as well. So I am going to say to ChatGPT, that sounds amazing. Thank you. Can you now help me turn this into an actionable plan so I know what I need to be doing every day, week and month to transform this vision into my reality. Please bear in mind I have ADHD, so the plan needs to feel easy to implement, exciting, and not be overwhelming. Please break the plan down into 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, and 6 month actionable steps covering these key areas: business, finances, relationships, and health. We'll see what happens from there, and then we can tweak things as we go along. So whenever I use ChatGPT to do things like this, I always start with like one big question, and then based on the responses, I then know what I want tweaking. I've done this before with a business strategy that I put together for myself a couple of months ago with what I needed to do in order to launch the new business that I'm starting. And I just find if you're open to making those tweaks, it just makes it feel a lot easier, because it's very rare that it gets it absolutely spot on straight away. So my big picture vision, this is what it's going to do. So 5 years from now, your life at 40. It's kind of broken it down into bullet points, which is exactly what it was from before. Okay, so it's almost broken down what the vision is going to look like over the next 5 years, 3 years, 1 year. And rather than giving me like a practical strategy to follow, so this is great, this is really helpful, and then it gets more helpful as we go through. So as we go through to monthly focus, weekly habits, daily or light tasks, it gets a little bit more focused around what I can be doing. So that does feel more achievable. However, great start, thank you. I'd like something a little more specific in terms of a checklist of actions I need to be taking specifically over the next 5 months. Can you break this down for me, please, so I know what I can do each day, week, month? And then let's see what happens from there. And then this is where I really wanted it to get to. So the fact that it's like breaking down the months. So I've now got July, foundation month. This is really about building momentum and making the vision real. And then I've got my monthly focus, so the things that I need to focus on. This is actually so helpful for me because it's also done things based on what it already knows about me, things that I've not even had to say, I need you to do this. So my monthly focus for July is finish products film school. Great. Create one mini commercial product project. This is something that I spoke about with my coach on Zoom yesterday. I was like, I really want to have created my first 2 commercials by September. And without me even needing to tell ChatGPT this, it's given me the action step of creating 1 mini commercial in July. Then I've got relaunch your dating app profile with confident prompts, write out your dream relationship and business vision and read it daily, book a free braces consultation. We're not going to do the braces thing right now because this is kind of my like 2 to 3 year intention. So braces aren't a priority for me right this moment. They're more of my priority in say 2 to 3 years before I buy the house. Then I've got my weekly actions and it's broken it down by week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. This is super helpful for me to just have this visual idea of what I need to be doing every single week without me needing to make the decisions around the plan. With ADHD, this is what I find really hard, is actually the decision making and in knowing what steps I need to do when. And I can get caught up with, well, this bit needs to go first, but I can't do this bit until I've done this bit. So then, oh, but I need to do that bit then. And I just can't create that kind of schedule for myself. So this is super helpful for me to do. So weekly actions, start filming a mini ad project, set up a content planner, record and upload 1 podcast episode, reach out to a friend for a catch up coffee. I also like the fact that it's included that bit about friends because obviously friendships is something that's really important to me, my friendships and relationships, and so is my social life. So the fact that it's reminding me to also focus on my personal life as well, brilliant. And then daily habits, 2 litres of water, capture 1 piece of behind the scenes content or a content idea, say 1 money, health or self-love affirmation out loud, move your body, stretch, walk or dance for 10 plus minutes. Again, those daily habits feel super achievable. They feel like really short, easy things that I can do. And one thing that I did recently when I realised that I am someone that really struggles with cleaning. I hate cleaning. I don't enjoy it. It's something that I really struggle with, and it's one of those things that I see and I'm like, I know it needs to be done, but it's never my priority. And I had a conversation with Mum about it, about how I can contribute more to the cleaning, because we do split it, but sometimes it just takes me a bit longer to do stuff than it does her. And when I started to give myself daily tasks, I find it so much easier to write those daily tasks on my little notepad that I bought off Amazon and then be able to tick off the tasks each day. I find it, for some reason, my brain works well with having that kind of checklist, but small tasks, because when I give myself massive tasks, don't achieve them, feel overwhelmed, cannot do it. Whereas this feels super easy, so I can add these daily habits to that daily cleaning list. I feel like it's gonna work really well for me. And I've got August planned out for me, and this is just great. This is just really super helpful for me. So what I can do from here is then go to my calendar, go to my diary, create or even like print this out. I might just use the cleaning notepad that I've got already and just add those tasks to that, because that, as I said, is really working really well for me. But because I've now got this focus that I haven't had to create for myself, I now feel so inspired and motivated to actually start creating these things and to actually start taking those actions, because it doesn't feel like, okay, this is where I am, this is my vision, how the fuck am I going to get there? I know how I'm going to get there because I've got it written in front of me. And if I focus on doing the tasks rather than getting to the end result, I think that's going to be more beneficial as well. Saying to myself, okay, all I have to do today is post a video on TikTok, for example. I don't have to worry about how I'm buying a house today. I just have to post a video on TikTok, as an example. So this feels very exciting, and this is why I think using ChatGPT can be super, super helpful for you. And then once you've got a plan, as I said, even though I'm probably not going to stick to it entirely, even though I'll tweak it as I go along, having some kind of strategy to work with is really beneficial for me. Now that I've got that, I need to be holding myself accountable. And how am I going to do that? have weekly meetings with myself. So I'm going to put a chunk in my calendar. I'm going to block out some time in my calendar so that every single week, probably on a Monday, because I feel like I just like doing these things on a Monday, or even a Sunday. I've started doing my cleaning schedule on a Sunday and I just like that time. So maybe a Sunday, but I'm going to have that time where I'm going to sit down, look at my goals, look at my vision, look at the action that I've taken that week and see if there are any gaps, and also celebrate my progress as I'm moving forward, because I do think it is so super important to celebrate yourself and the shit that you're achieving regularly, rather than just keep striving and striving and striving and not actually acknowledging the work that you have done, because you need to celebrate yourself, right? We celebrate everyone else all the fucking time. Why are you not celebrating yourself as well? So I'm going to have those weekly meetings with myself, look at where I am, look at what I need to do next, plan out the following week, make sure that it aligns with ChatGPT. If it doesn't align with ChatGPT's plan, then tweak it slightly to make things more beneficial. And one thing that I am super mindful of for myself as well is how my cycle affects my energy. So I know that if I want to batch create videos, I'm not doing that the week before my period's due, because I am grumpy, I'm miserable, I'm bloated, I don't have the energy, all I want to do is sleep. That is not the time for me to be getting myself ahead. The week after my period, can absolutely smash it. I can do more work in that week than I can the rest of the entire month. So having this knowledge in advance as well means that when I have these meetings with myself, if I haven't ticked off as many things as I'd hoped, I can compare it to where I'm at in my cycle, reassure myself that that's okay, be a bit more lenient and give myself that grace period. And then when it's a week where I have got more energy, maybe pack a bit more into my schedule. So the final part of the series is coming next, and that is how we can turn the vision into the reality starting from today. So I don't need to wait until I've actioned this plan. I don't need to wait until I've achieved all these things. I don't need to wait until I get to 40 to be living parts of this reality right now. And I'm going to share exactly what that means. So make sure you're subscribed, like, follow along, leave me a comment, and I will see you in the next one.